Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday Rune and Card reading. Guys, welcome back to those of you who are already a part of this amazing community. And thank you so much for the feedback from the first of the sleep meditations that I posted yesterday. I posted it yesterday. So, guys, thank you so much. It was really in response. So many people have said I have a really soothing voice, and people have been asking for some sleep meditations. So the one I posted yesterday is the first in a series where each one is really designed to help to cleanse or clear something overnight. They're all connected really to the kind of internal blocks and things that we have that stop us in our journey of manifestation. And guys, for those of you who've also been following the progress of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, there is a delay. I'd hoped they'd be launching in January, but rather than talk about that, I will stick a little video on at the end of these readings for anyone that's interested. And you can also, I've now set up a link so that you can sign up just to receive updates as soon as we know what's happening with them, and that's in the information box below. So guys, wonderful energy here today. Welcome to anyone who is new to my readings. I'm Jenny Florence. Do check out the information box below. I put a lot of free resources into the world, and so yeah, just check out that. That includes a free private reading, and as soon as these Art of Manifestation Oracle cards are live, I will be giving away some copies of those, some packs of those as well. So yeah, check out the information box for all of that. Now for these readings, reading 1, reading 2 and reading 3, I was guided to use these really beautiful 3 hearts today. The first is Selenite. Selenite embodies high vibrational energy. You can kind of almost see it. It captures energy and then radiates it out. Selenite will open your crown chakra and your soul star chakra. So that's the energy governing reading 1. Reading 2, we have this beautiful little amethyst heart. Small, but my goodness me, so powerful. Amethyst will heal mind, body, spirit through balance. Amethyst opens the third eye chakra, as well as the crown chakra. It's ruled by Jupiter. So it's all about positive transformation, expansion. Sometimes amethyst will also help to increase our psychic abilities. Reading number 3 is governed by this stunning carnelian heart. Carnelian restores vitality and motivation, stimulates creativity, it promotes and supports us in making positive life choices, and it's also said to bring courage. It motivates us for success, and during times of transition, it helps us to find the courage to navigate those transitions. So that's the energy of reading number 3. On the screen you will see the timings. They're also in the information box, of course, as always. So guys, settle into this, listen to your intuition. These weekly readings are all about listening to your intuition and seeking guidance through channeling your own direction, actually, really checking in with which reading calls you. You may also find that more than one is speaking to you, in which case go with both. Sometimes the messages are an amalgamation of the two, and that's the guidance that you're needing right now. For anyone new to the channel, if you would like to receive updates on any of the readings, and indeed the new series of sleep meditations that I'm posting, if you subscribe, you will also need to press the little bell icon as well if you want to get notifications as soon as I post readings, and I will be starting the February ones in the next couple of days. So much love to you guys. Namaste. Welcome to reading 1 and our beautiful selenite heart. I'm going to place that just up here. Really stunning energy. You can really see how it does draw and create, it really embodies high vibrational energy. Let's look at our runes first. Okay, so we have the rune of protection. It's an interesting starting point. The rune of movement and the rune of openings. The rune of protection speaks of a need to be... actually the book I studied, it speaks about control of the emotions. Now, for anyone that knows me, I'm much more, I'm very pro being in relationship with our emotions rather than trying to control them. I think if we try and control anything, it kind of fights back, it creates some kind of resistance. But you're certainly being called to listen to your emotions and to be very mindful of the power of emotions, particularly it speaks of times of accelerated growth, accelerated life changes. The rune of movement, sometimes this speaks literally of the movement to, new dwellings, new attitudes, moving, it literally is about moving forwards. It also says that you have a measure of, it's like this, I'm kind of hearing a measure of safety in your position. I think you kind of know where you are. So this is interesting. Accelerated life changes. Now, sometimes, the rune of movement always speaks of the bettering of any situation. And generally speaking, I would say it's about a steady kind of progress where things gather momentum. But coming with the rune of protection, accelerated changes. I think things might be happening quite quickly for you. Curiously enough, again, the rune of openings, renewed clarity, out of darkness into light. For me, this rune always speaks of finding direction, knowing where we're going, or if we've been going through a phase where our vision has been shrouded or a little bit fogged, we find that new clarity. We know where we're going. We know our direction. It feels as though things are quickening up, actually, for you guys. So that's quite interesting. Just going to turn all our cards over and see where we are. Let's look at these tarot first. Okay, so we have King of Swords. Okay, wow. Lots and lots of new beginnings and new potentials here. So King of Swords. We're followed by the Fool, the card of the World, and 9 of Pentacles. You're having to evaluate something, or you have been evaluating something. The clarity is coming, but I think it feels, because things are moving quite fast. I'm really hearing that the pace of things is pretty fast. And it feels a bit like you are launching into something. I think for some of you, it genuinely does feel like a very big unknown, stepping into the unknown, a new beginning. The World speaks of completions and new beginnings. We have the very first card in the Major Arcana pack and the very last card in the Major Arcana pack. It's kind of, for me, this connects beautifully in with the Pluto-Saturn energy of the astrology at the moment, because they've come together. We've had a lot of what I would call testings over the last 18 months or so. It's felt to me as though 2019 as a year, it almost felt to me as though, we'd see, a mountain that we had to climb, and we'd finally get to the top and think we'd be there, and then we'd see that there was another peak beyond it, and then another peak beyond it, and it just seemed never ending. And I think the Saturn-Pluto energy coming together is we've kind of reached that final peak. But of course, travelling down the mountain, working out where we go from here, consolidating the learning of all those peaks and troughs of the last 18 months or so, that's like stepping into the new. It's stepping into the unknown. You are definitely balancing things out. My words are getting muddled. Yeah, you're balancing, you're evaluating. Crystal clear intentions in terms of manifestation, crystal clear intentions in terms of your final vision. Hold your vision, but don't be too fixed about the journey. Everything is moving quite quickly. Now, this is really interesting. If we have a look at these cards, we have the Sage and we have the Maiden. The Sage, it is about the Sage actually, because the Sage is a storyteller. He's a master communicator. He carries a lot of wisdom. But there can be an element of manipulation around this. I voice this because the Maiden speaks of independence, fertility, following your dreams, seeking your own answers. Sometimes the Sage can speak of someone who is, it's almost as though they can tell a good story, they can spin a yarn. And I'm just connecting in here with the runes again, the rune of protection. So during your life changes, which are, as far as I can see, you're going through a period of rapid growth, very much purposeful, rapid growth. Interesting, we have here the 2 Archangel cards here. Stay optimistic about your love life, heart-to-heart conversations, followed by 2 other cards from the Art of Manifestation, Gossip and Drama, and Worth the Wait. So what I'm hearing here is there is some kind of confusion in terms of relationship. You are going through a phase of accelerated growth. You are stepping into new beginnings, new opportunities, new possibilities. You're coming out of a phase, moving into a new phase. You are being asked to remain optimistic. It may be that for some of you, a relationship has come to an end, or a phase in a relationship has come to an end. What I also hear, and it's a very clear message coming through, that some of you have experienced some disappointment. Connecting in with the Gossip and Drama card. Talking behind people's backs is one of the greatest producers of negative energy, with the potential to affect not only individuals but entire communities. Make a choice not to involve yourself in this. Rise above it. This card also asks that if you are unable to find anything positive to say, then please consider saying nothing. We then have the card of Worth the Wait. Is something or someone not moving forwards as fast as you would like? This card is here to reassure you. Hold fast, be patient. The best things in life are worth waiting for. So I'm hearing it's like a duality of messages here. I think some of you have been reluctant to move something forwards. There's been some, and I don't know, somebody's tried to maneuver or manipulate you behind the scenes, and that's not sat well with you. If anything, it's caused you to have doubts about a very particular relationship. And indeed it may even have caused you to end a relationship, to come out of a relationship in some way. And I'm also going to say for some of you, it isn't just an intimate relationship, it's a working relationship. The 9 of Pentacles suggests you are moving forwards, you are moving through something, and there will be a resolution. And I'm going to say a financial resolution. So I do feel some of you are coming out of some kind of a challenging, it's almost like, I want to almost say like a divorce or a separation where there have been money, debates, people have been a bit backstabby, all that kind of game playing. The key here is communication. The Sage is sitting in this duality position here. For some of you, it is that somebody has just been, really in a way, you've needed to recognise not to trust everything they're saying. For others, you are being asked to really step into that space of fundamental wisdom. You're coming through this. Everything is going to be moving forwards. The bettering of any situation. Again, it can apply to really practical things like house buying and moving, but you will find a new direction. Please stay optimistic, because actually whatever has not been moving forwards is going to be moving forwards. That's the message here that's very clear. The duality is to do with where you are sitting in relationship to something, whether you are coming out of something, whether it's actually a proper big ending and therefore a new beginning, and you're feeling pretty wobbly about the outcome or how the outcome will be. And you are being asked to guard your independence. So for some of you, you're needing to be mindful of, I'm going to say, the wool being pulled over your eyes. And for others, it's actually about really stepping into that space of really fluent communication, where you become the storyteller, you become the master communicator. So there is a duality to this card. It's sort of sitting in both ways, but the reading is indicating an ending of some sort, whether it's the ending of a phase or the ending literally where you are coming out of something, and I think you've been tested. That's what I would say. This is this mountaintop I was speaking about. Just connect in again with the energy of selenite, embodies high vibrational energy, opens the crown chakra. I think there is opportunity for you to become re-centered in your own right. And that, of course, is what really creates a new beginning. And something, as I said, the resolution, it is moving forwards, then there are new possibilities, but there is a completion involved in some way as well. But you are going to find new direction. There's a huge amount of positivity, illumination. This is lovely because it's like an affirmation. It's kind of like you've been through some real tough times. You've had like a big testing. As I said, for some of you, you're needing to step into that space of being the master communicator. For others, somebody is a master communicator, and I don't think they've been entirely honest about their position. Heart-to-heart conversations with you walking the pathway of light is the way through this. Rising above any gossip and drama. The outcome, though, is really positive. It's saying a new beginning is coming. It is saying that you will find new direction, and what you are looking for, remain optimistic, hold your vision. What you are looking for is worth waiting for. Wonderful, wonderful people. So much love to you. For anyone who is drawn to any of these cards, and indeed the runes, in the information box you will find a link to a card and book page, and every single pack of cards and the runes that I use are all on that page with photographs, so you should be able to find them really, really easily if you're drawn to a particular pack and feel you'd like to find them for yourselves. Namaste. So much love to you. Welcome to reading number 2. Governed by the energy of this stunning and very powerful little amethyst heart, opening the third eye chakra, ruled by Jupiter, positive transformation, increasing psychic abilities, real healing energy, very powerful healing energy of amethyst. I'm going to place it just here. So let's look at our runes. First of all, we have the blank rune, followed by the rune of journey, and the rune of initiation. This is a powerful combination. The blank rune, it's endings, it's beginnings, it's pregnancy, it's a moment of potential, almost like infinite potential. There's so much possibility in this rune, and yet we may not yet know what those possibilities are. It's interesting because I have I'm hearing a message of there is a need to travel inwards. The rune of journey, very, very interesting. The journey is about travelling inwards and removing resistances within ourselves. And sometimes it can indicate a pragmatic, practical journey. But as a general rule, this is about journeying within. steadily and but surely removing any form of resistance to our ability to move forwards, to evolve. The rune of initiation is a very powerful rune. It's a rite of passage. The rune of initiation says it's like the rising of the phoenix from the ashes. So it's a very, very powerful process of transformation, but it speaks of, again, it's this personal journey energy, because in terms of our spiritual evolution, our spiritual growth, there are things that we can't always easily share with everybody, and not everybody would get where you are. Your own process, your own internal process of growth at this precise moment is huge, and the potential that comes with it is massive. There can sometimes be a wobble that comes with this kind of this rune and connecting in it. It's sort of, I'm hearing that there's an element of uncertainty around you. So let's look at the cards. So we have, okay, that's interesting, intuition, and we have the Five of Water. This is interesting because the Five of Water suggests some fears, some doubts, again, uncertainty, clouded vision, sometimes loss as well. Intuition, you're asked, again, journey inwards, trust your intuition. Whatever situation you are in personally, trust your intuition. Yeah, synchronicity. Let's just see what these tarot cards are first. Okay. Actually, I'm hearing to put them down this way. Judgment first. The Judgment is a card of evaluation. It's like a summing up. It's a personal evaluation. There's opportunity for review. The Page of Cups, there's a duality in the message here. I'm going to speak about this. And we have the Six of Swords and the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups speaks of choices. Sometimes so many choices that you don't know which one to take, hence this infinite source of possibility. The Judgment card is really interesting in this position because I'm hearing with this Five of Water, there are fears, there are doubts, there's some uncertainty around you. You're having to evaluate. This is like a summing up. Now, a summing up can be amazing if everything has been running to plan. It's kind of like an evaluation where we weigh things up and we think, right, okay, this is where we've got to, these are our next steps, this is what we're going to do. But actually, if we have been engaged in anything that has been more challenging, a summing up can be quite tough, particularly if it connects to loss. Page of Cups, again, for me this is a really interesting, there's a lot of duality here, and it may be because there's more than one message coming through. I was curious, in the first reading there was more than one message coming in too. The Page of Cups is, sometimes it's kind of like there's something really new that needs to be nurtured in terms of your own self-care. Sometimes it indicates a connection to somebody who has been a little bit narcissistic, a little bit toxic, so somebody who has clouded your vision. They've caused you to feel full of doubt. You see, I am hearing that for some of you the evaluation card is about a connection to relationship. Now, we have two cards here, Flirt and Forgiving and Learning. Flirt, extend your light-hearted energy to others. Forgiving and learning, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. They are quite relationship-orientated, the readings this week. We then have two cards from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. Firstly, expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. Synchronicity are seemingly random coincidences showing up in your life. I love this because the card of intuition is all about synchronicity too. Interesting because the rune of initiation, that connects into synchronicity as well. This card asks you to listen to the signs and to take them seriously. You are tuning into the universal energy of a greater collective consciousness, and these synchronicities are arriving in your world to guide you. Listen. Okay, so there is a clear message coming through here. It's the evaluation. There is a kind of a reckoning and a summing up. But it's interesting because it actually connects to both aspects of the Page of Cups. So you are being asked to nurture within yourself new seeds of possibility. This is the blank room, the infinite source of possibilities that sit in the unknowable future. Very powerful moment of potential for you. You're being asked to nurture your entitlement and your right to actually to expect the good and not the negative. Okay, now, and the other side of the duality of this card, connecting to people who are toxic or people who are a bit narcissistic, I'm actually hearing that for some of you, you grew up, there's a member of your family, and it could even have been a parent who was quite narcissistic, quite self-orientated, and somehow you learned that you weren't able to, it's almost like you couldn't actually ever really allow yourself to have, but you've carried that message in the form of an expectation. It's, memory is a form of expectation, rather, is a form of memory. If we have a challenging situation and we learned to manage life in a particular way, sometimes it's like especially if you've had somebody narcissistic in your life, whether that is back in your history, especially if it's in your history, but even if you've had a relationship along the way, what happens is that you end up with a lot of self-doubt. The energy of a narcissist tends to debilitate and drain, but it also leaves people feeling as though they are the one with the problems. So they lose confidence, their self-esteem goes down, and they start to really doubt themselves. And I think you're aware of the impact of the past. Some of you are almost grieving for the way that has influenced your life previously. But you have the right, as an adult, to shift that energy completely. You do not have to continue through that lens, living life through that lens, making decisions through that lens. Yes, it will surface because the impact of those kinds of people are huge, but you are being called to really nurture these wonderful new beginnings of yourself. It's like there's a stirring. Some part of yourself is stirring, and again, this is part of the initiation. The phoenix rising from the ashes, the eagle flying high and free of restrictions. Trust your intuition. Get out there. Allow yourself to be light-hearted. Hold on to your own energy and don't allow the energy of others to influence you. It's like I think you're becoming increasingly aware of how you connect with the energy of others. Again, if you've grown up with anyone narcissistic, you will probably have a very heightened sensitivity to the people around you. For anyone new to my channel who's not yet getting notifications, if you find that you are absorbent, you may want to connect into the very first sleep meditation that I posted yesterday. It's an all-night long energy clearance, but it is particularly for people who are very, very sensitive and absorb the energy of others, because it's pretty difficult to process that energy overload, predominantly because most of it doesn't belong to you in the first place. But anyway, I've talked a lot about that in that meditation. I think you can see the way forwards. You're not yet through the choppy waters. I think you're still recognizing that little residues of this, the influence of this relationship or relationships is still surfacing. But you do know that it's time to put it down. Forgiving and learning, again, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments, and you realize that you have an entitlement to love and to be loved. This is this newness, this wonderful energy coming through. And the evaluation, the reckoning, it's important because it puts you into a position of empowerment, and that opens the avenue for new beginnings. I say new beginnings. Six of Swords isn't necessarily a beginning card, but it's new horizons, new possibilities. You just take anything that surfaces one sword at a time. That's the journeying. Remove any resistances that surface. Don't be critical of yourself in any way. Synchronicity, things are showing up to guide you. Trust your intuition. Really remain centered in yourself, and give yourself permission to literally start to be in the world, to allow yourself to be playful in love, with an expectation of giving and of receiving love. Seven of Cups, a lot of choices, I think, potentially available to you, a lot of doorways opening, but this is a process of transformation, of initiating yourself into a new phase of life. It's not something that we can easily speak of with everybody because not everyone will get it. And I would venture to say if the narcissist is somebody in your family will not get it. And they may well be quite resistant to the changes in you. That does not mean that you should not be changing and stepping into this space of new nurturing of you, of possibilities for yourself. This is a wonderful, wonderful reading of transformation. It's a big transformation. The phoenix rising from the ashes. Guys, big respect, because I'm really hearing that you have had to work to get to where you are. It is not easy to deal with people like this. They have a profound impact on our sense of self. But way to go. You are where you are. You are coming out the other side. You have a higher, greater vision. Choices are opening up to you. Literally, I want to say daily. That's what I'm really hearing. Listen to the signs. Synchronicity, the universe is at work around you. Guys, so much possibility. Very big transition for you, really absolutely awesome. I mean, this is a level of transition in terms of your growth as a spiritual warrior, as a soul within this, this journey of evolution in the human lifetime. Very big respect. Namaste, and so, so much love to you guys. Welcome to reading number 3 and the energy of this gorgeous carnelian heart. An energy that restores vitality, brings motivation, stimulates creativity, positive life choices, and again can be the real bringer of courage if we are experiencing big transitions. I'm going to place that up here. There we go. So let's look at our runes. Okay, so we have the rune of possessions. Now this rune speaks of surprises, rewards, gains that are unexpected. It also asks you to evaluate what it is that you're really looking for. What does success mean to you? We have the rune of breakthrough and the rune of wholeness. This is an interesting combination. Wonderful people. Very, very interesting, because there's a kind of an evaluation, like a question. It's almost like the universe is saying, what do you actually want? And then we have this breakthrough rune. The breakthrough rune can literally mean that we change direction. Sometimes it calls for radical trust, a leap into the unknown, a new start. And the rune of wholeness is the path you must follow. Interestingly enough, sometimes this rune speaks of the need to retreat. And it doesn't mean retreat as in a kind of a defeat kind of retreat. It means like a spiritual retreat, the withdrawing in order to remain centered or to get really clear about where you're going, what you want. There's a sense of a little bit of kind of, I want to say almost trepidation or a slight uncertainty around the runes actually. Okay, so we have King of Water. This is interesting because King of Water is a very calm, balanced, contemplative kind of card. It's like if you were in a storm, it's like coming into a harbour. It's like but that does connect to this energy of the need potentially to retreat. And here we have the Four of Air. Very, very interesting, because this also suggests that you approach something quite systematically, with structure and with discipline, and budget your time. It's kind of like clean your house, energetically clean your house, spring clean. So it's an interesting connection. Let's see what else we have. We have grace and we have the cycles of the moon. When we sit in relationship with grace, we see every situation through the eyes of love, fostering our desire to meet life with understanding, compassion, and kindness. This card asks that you view your situation with grace. Will understanding bring compassion? How would love view your possible choices? What would kindness suggest that you do? The cycles of the moon. This card invites you to attune yourself with the rhythms of the moon. Notice how the phases of the moon affect your energy and learn to use these energetic shifts within you to enhance your capacity to be consciously co-creative in all aspects of your life. These are powerful cards, guys. Very powerful. It's a powerful week. Engagement and healing family issues. Let's have a look at our tarot. Queen of Cups. Three of Wands. Knight of Swords. Okay, there is a kind of an evaluation going on here. I think for some of you there has been a need to retreat in some way. Now, for me, the Queen of Cups, she's just the queen of self-care. She understands how to look after herself. She brings that energy of, it's like an amazingly stable and yet deep energy. Connecting in with this card of grace, seeing every situation through the eyes of love. There is some kind of a healing going on within relationship. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. It's almost as though this feels like quite an immediate reading. You know, sometimes the readings seem to connect to an overall energy that's going on. This reading feels for me as if it's connecting into a situation that is really right here, right now, very current. Breakthrough, the path you must follow, wholeness, an evaluation. What does success and gain mean to you? Something is going on where some kind of a family issue has raised its head. It's like something has surfaced within relationship. It's either put a spanner in the works, or it's causing a problem, or even a family member has tried to intervene and caused a problem. I'm hearing for some of you it's not just the impact of the family dynamics within you, it actually is the family dynamics. You are really being called to get centered. Work out what it is that you really, really desire. Don't allow the past to hold you back. Okay? Focus on what you truly desire. The Three of Wands, very, very interesting, because it suggests the completion of a phase of something. Now, it may be for some of you that you are approaching a time or a space within relationship where you're ready to make a higher level of commitment. But it's almost as though it's this healing family issues. There's some sort of forgiveness that's required. It's something of a forgiveness is required to enable you to move into this space of higher commitment. I don't know whether there is a fear for some of you. I'm hearing like maybe your parents' marriage was a disaster or broke down or was difficult, or it's left a residue of anxiety or concern about making a commitment yourself, and there's some sort of navigation of this situation. Queen of Cups, she understands herself. She also reaches out and understands others. Again, King of Water, calm, balanced contemplation. What I'm hearing is you are being called to evaluate your situation from a position of calm, balanced, kind of, if necessary, retreat. Yeah, take time out. Retreat doesn't mean running away. It means retreat. It means the path you must follow to achieve the greater level of insight that you are needing. And again, look at your situation systematically. Yeah, peel back the layers. I know when I remember going and doing my very first ever counselling training, which was a long time ago, as I sort of am moving my way out of my private practice, but I worked as an accredited counsellor for 26 years. But I remember going way back. We used to talk about peeling away the layers of the onion. There's always another layer. That's part of the evolution of the soul's journey within the human experience. But it's like peeling back the layers of the onion systematically. There are issues to be healed here. Through forgiveness, through the recognition that for the best part, most people, I'm going to say, often do the wrong things for the right reasons. For sure, sometimes we can meet some really challenging people. But even then, they're often very challenging because they weren't able to process or work through successfully their own life challenges earlier on in their life. Now, the Knight of Swords, very interesting energy, because the Knight of Swords would suggest that something is actually going to happen that will create a shift. This feels very immediate. There's a lot of immediacy in this particular reading. Something will happen that will create a shift, and that something I think is going to happen from outside of you. The key here is how you respond. In fact, something may already have happened that's caused you to have a bit of a double take in some way, or caused you to have a wobble, okay? But actually, it's a breakthrough. Yeah, this is a breakthrough moment. It's actually bringing you the insight you need to be able to come through something and out the other side. Again, look at this situation and look at all of your relationships through the eyes of grace. When we meet any situation with understanding, kindness, compassion, we create a shift. We shift the energy, and it creates the opportunity for new beginnings. Interestingly, the card invites you to attune yourself with the rhythms of the moon. Notice how the phases of the moon affect your energy, and learn to use these energetic shifts within you to enhance your capacity to be consciously co-creative in all aspects of your life. Again, order, discipline, there is some structure to this card, to this Four of Air. When we understand how the energy and the cycles of the moon affect us, we step into a place of far greater empowerment, because there'll be times in a month when we are far more emotionally fired up, and other times when we are able to approach things more calmly. Understanding how the monthly cycle of energies affect you will allow you to take charge of yourself, of your own decision making, the path you must follow, wholeness, retreat. You'll know when to retreat, when to move forwards, when to ease off and move into a space of reflection, when to take something forward, so when to evaluate, when to actually take action. So there's a lot of learning going on for you guys at the moment, but this phase, however challenging it might feel, the issues that are being raised are there to help you evaluate, and it puts you back into your own driving seat. The more you peel away the layers of the onion, the deeper you go, the more empowered you will be. Your learning is a source of empowerment. And looking at things, looking at every layer through the eyes of grace, we begin to see that people often, even if they really mess up, they're very often doing the best they can through the limited resources that are available to them or were available to them in terms of their own growing up. Sort of feel there's some issues definitely around forgiveness here. But you're moving through something, and it's a very important phase in your own process of growth and evolution, and it's actually freeing you up to be able to move forwards into a space of greater commitment within your own love life, and that includes greater commitment in relationship to yourself as well as to a partner or a potential partner. This is a process of very important evaluation, and yeah, do check in on the cycles of the moon, see if you can work with the cycles of the moon. I don't know for any of you who have checked in, if you check in, I have a sort of, if you check in, every card I use is on a page, and there should be a link in the information box below. So if any of the cards or the runes are really speaking to you, you'll be able to find them there. There's also my own diary, the Art of Manifestation diary, Astro Moon diary. There's a lot of stuff in there in terms of using the cycles of the moon to be able to fuel your own growth, understanding how the cycles of the moon affect you, knowing when to move forwards, when to hold back, when to make decisions, when to know not to make decisions. So there's something about really taking charge of your life. There's an opportunity here to take charge of your life and to put something from the past down. It's raised its head, but to put it down and move through some very big issues in a way that puts you back in your own driving seat. It's really what I'm hearing. Very, very powerful reading, guys. I want to say really big respect to you. Anyone who checks in with readings like this, mine and any of the other readers, you are on a pathway of personal evolution. And you're stepping up, you're looking for guidance, you are looking to navigate from a position of awareness. Otherwise you wouldn't be checking in on these kinds of readings. Guys, big respect to you. You are working through something very powerful here, but the indications are of you putting it down, coming through and out the other side, and it's freeing you up to have a very different quality of relationship. Quite possibly very, very different to the quality of relationships in the family you grew up in. Big respect. So much love to you guys. Namaste. So guys, just a very quick update on the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. I had expected to be giving away several packs of this in celebration of their launch, of their formal launch, but we have had some problems, not with the cards themselves. They are absolutely stunning. I love, there we go, we have the Persevere card. Who would have thought that a humble acorn could grow into a mighty oak tree? But of course this takes time. Whatever you are involved in, this card brings a message of reassurance. Your hard work and continued effort and dedication will come to fruition. You are asked to persevere and trust. Thank you, universe, for that. I didn't plan that. So guys, basically, these cards, they are... I had expected them to be ready, and lots of people have been asking about them. What I have done now is to set up a landing page where you can register your interest. The first edition will be a limited edition. So, as I said, we've just had a problem with production, not in terms of the cards themselves. They're beautiful. You know, they really are lovely. And I'm really pleased with them. The quality is stunning. But there have been some problems with the booklet. So I think it's been better to wait and get it right, which means that we're having to just persevere a little bit longer. Okay, persevere. So guys, just watch this space. You can register your interest, you know, if you wish to. There's a link below that will take you to a landing page where you can register your interest, and then I will update you via email and let you know as soon as the cards are moving forwards. And there will also be an opportunity to reserve a pack if you wish. So guys, thank you so much for all of your interest, your support, your love, and so much love to you all. Namaste.